Alameda didn't always used to be an island. In fact, it was a peninsula that was attached to Oakland via a marshy lowland. So today we're going to talk about that and 10 other cool facts about the island city that you should know about, especially if you're considering moving here. And we're going to start right now. What's going on, guys? And I know what you're thinking. How can that be? Alameda is an island and has been for over 100 years. Well, just a little longer than that. In 1902 is when the dredging project that took nearly 30 years to complete finished, and the island city became an island. Pretty cool, right? I'm Hans Trzina, welcome to this video, and today I want to share with you 10 other facts about the island city that I find fascinating, and if you're going to move here, or if you already live here, you will too. So if you get value, like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to continue to put out content like this, and you're not going to want to miss it. So without any further ado, let's roll. So on top of not being an island originally, Alameda has actually increased its land size by 2.5 times since 1850 through a lot of landfill projects. South Shore, Bay Farm, the naval base, a lot of that has been landfill and earth moving projects, much of which was from the dredging of the estuary. So where you live and where you're standing, depending on where you're at in the island, didn't used to be there. The city was founded in 1853 when 3 separate communities that had been built up by different landowners was combined into one. Under one name, Alameda, which is of course what we are today. This one's pretty crazy. Prior to its inhabitants and founding of the city, it was really populated by Native Americans who ate a lot of shellfish. In fact, there was a tradition of the Native Americans to take the shells of the shellfish and put them into giant mounds, the largest of which has been estimated to have been 400 feet long, 150 feet wide, and 14 feet tall. If you go down to Lincoln Park on the High Street end, you'll see a monument in the park right at the very front to that, and describes that exact shell mound and where it was located, and a tribute to that history. So you gotta go check that out next time you're down at the park. So the shoreline, what is now considered the area around Crab Cove, was lined with a number of amusement parks, Ferris wheels, baths, swimming pools, etc. at the time, and it was the most exciting and the most well-known is the one that is now Neptune Beach. It was considered the Coney Island of the West Coast and attracted tons of movie stars, celebrities, and the rich and famous to this location, and really was a place that a lot of people went to be seen. And it was from that part of the island that the first woman to swim across the San Francisco Bay, Nell Schmidt, launched her swim. It took her 3 hours. Interestingly enough, there used to be an international airport located on what is now the west end of the island. Pan American Airways was doing international flights out of the west end of Alameda as recently as the 1930s, believe it or not. And since then, that land was deeded to the US government, much of which was actually deeded for $1, and turned into the Naval Air Base, which is still there today, although hasn't been active since 1997, and is, as I've mentioned in a bunch of other videos, being redeveloped for housing and mixed use and commercial and all that fun stuff. And for those of you who are big history buffs or have seen the movie Pearl Harbor, you may remember the Dolittle Raids, which post Pearl Harbor was the US's responses in retaliation to the Pearl Harbor bombings. And that mission started here in Alameda at that Naval Air Base. And lastly, a number of big screen movies have either been shot entirely or in part here in Alameda. Specifically, some of my favorites are The Matrix Reloaded and Revolution, which had car chase scenes through the tube down between Alameda and Oakland over on Webster Street. Additionally, those of you who are Mythbusters fans will probably remember them firing cannons and blowing stuff up out on the Naval Air Base. I surely remember that, and that was pretty awesome too. So Alameda has made its way onto the big screen in those ways as well. Hopefully you got some value out of that, and if you did, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to continue to put out cool content just like this, and you're not going to want to miss it. So without any further ado, this is Hans Trzina signing off for now. See you guys on the next one.